Okay, this is another video that I'm doing. And this basically talking about this young lady that was boasting about she got all these degrees and then she makes 70K a year. And she said she got assaulted by black men asking her what she got to bring to the table. And it's always a common trope for some reason with black women about their educational accomplishments. And those accomplishments don't mean anything. How much money you making doesn't mean anything to a man. Because and at the end of the day, that man knows you ain't gonna do nothing for him with all those degrees. You're not gonna do anything with the money you make to help him. He's gonna be doing all the providing. So why should he care about what you bring to the table? Other than all he asking you to bring to the table is your femininity, your cooperative, not so much even submission, just you being cooperative, you being able to follow his leadership. That's all that these brothers are wanting. They're not wanting the whole plethora of things like y'all women ask for. These brothers just want simple things. Simple things that a woman should be able to provide. Like a hot meal. A clean environment so a man can come home and live. Because you got a lot of women that'll run around talking about, I ain't going to be cleaning up and cook. I say, you cook for yourself, you clean up. I hope so. I hope you do. But those are things you'll be doing with children. Unless you got some parents that don't do that with children. You got some parents that bring their children, go out and buy their children fast food and have their children doing all the cleaning. You have this. I know I dated women that had their children doing all the housework. Children used to just bring food home to the children, fast food, or if she did cook, it'd be something real quick. So a lot of these women don't even like taking care of their kids, of their children, even though they have a lot of money that they get from child support, the state, whatever. I dated chicks that were strippers. Straight up. I ain't gonna even lie, I dated chicks that were strippers that had children. And their children ate the shittiest food. They'll have a whole bunch of money. Shitload of money, tax free. We call it in the hood, plastic bag money. But you don't see them chicks, their children sleeping on blow up mattresses and shit. And they got clothes all over the place. And I said, because they don't work a legitimate job, they strip at a nightclub. Some of them do private parties and shit. They make a lot of money up under the table. Just say it like that. It's not documented money. So a lot of them chicks be living on Section 8, living on the system, because a lot of their strip club money is undocumented money. So these chicks be living on welfare, food stamps, stripping at the nightclub, doing private parties. And with that, if you average all that money in they make from working at the strip club, it might average up to almost about 50K a year if they were to actually, the IRS were to document it. But then at the end of the day, IRS gonna want their cut. Which, another thing, I'm so glad that the conservatives are getting rid of the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve, IRS, federal taxes, and the IRS. They should have got rid of that shit a long time ago, fleecing America. The IRS is nothing more than government loan sharks. That's all they are. That's all they've been doing for years, fleecing the American people, black and white people, anybody. I'm so glad that at least the conservatives are doing it. But you didn't see the liberals pushing for that. You didn't see the Democrats pushing for that. Because I'm going to tell you why. The Democrats profit off people living in misery. They profit off you being in poverty so they can use you to push certain things. Oh, we got to be liberal. We got to help the poor people. They don't give a fuck about the poor people. Liberals are the biggest snakes and hypocrites ever. They feed on your poverty. Now, I ain't trying to say, oh, the conservatives any better. No, they assholes too. But at least they saying get rid of the Federal Reserve and federal income taxes. Because it's hurting, they know it's hurting the American people. They know it's hurting the American people financially. And it come to find out, the IRS got $75 billion undocumented, sitting up on undocumented money themselves. The IRS, $75 billion, sitting up on $75 billion of unaccounted money, sitting on it. And yet they going shaking everybody down like they the Italian mob. Ain't that a bitch? But anyway, back to my subject. You know, in a minute, the way the system with high inflation and everything going on, you know, you got brothers getting their passports and leaving. And then now you got brothers and sisters finding out. You got brothers finding out it's more feasible to live abroad, work in the States, and live abroad. Like, I got a friend that actually lived in fucking South Africa. He lived in South Africa. He drive his truck and it was during the spring, all the way from the early spring to about damn near the early winter. And he goes back down to South Africa. He catch a plane. Whatever he purchased here in the States, he put it all on a shipping container. And they ship that container back to where it gets shipped back down to where he at. And he said he bought a house, like a 5-bedroom house on 40 acres of land. And you know, he married to a South African sister. And he literally got maids. He making his money stretch so much where down in South Africa that he actually what you would consider an elite person in South Africa. And that's what I'm saying. They done sold you this lie that, you know, America is a free this and that. And they telling you not to go abroad, not to move abroad, or you, especially to Africa, because you gonna be, Africa got in poverty, but yet white people trying to plan on moving to Africa and taking advantage of that situation. But they telling you to stay here. They telling you, oh, you want to go to Africa? Oh, you got black people with this FBA movement, and I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it like I ain't knocking the passport brothers. But I know there's a trick, because while they telling you to stay here, these same white people are leaving and going to other places and living high on the lane and working out the United States and living abroad. But they ain't gonna tell you that. They want you to think, oh, the illegal immigrants taking over. Meanwhile, these same white elites not even living in the state who sit up here talking about illegal aliens. They got Latin, Mexican maids and shit living in that, working in their house. You know, it's just like the Mexican dude. These Mexican dudes sitting up here talking shit about Kanye West. Talking about, my friend, I got Jewish friends. I said, shut up. Your mom probably working for them Jewish people, cleaning their house. Shut up. Ain't your goddamn friend, nigga. I had to tell this Mexican dude that, shut up talking about Kanye can't come to LA. Nigga, what you gonna do? This nigga this dude a billionaire. This dude got bodyguards that'll probably murk you and your little vatos out, man. Shut up. That dude Kanye got straight hitters. These dudes don't got no lame ass street niggas. These dudes, man, If you go and look at some of the guys that work for Kanye and his security, some of them dudes used to be with Blackwater. They ain't fucking with no $2 at 10 cent ass niggas from no hood. I'll tell you that for security. I'm telling you that right now. Even Jay-Z got them kind of bodyguards. These people ain't hiring no niggas from no hood to be security. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You know, this shit is coming to a head in America. And when Kevin Samuels was talking about it's gonna be a cold winter, for some reason brothers missed the memo. Because in their head they think all black women just gonna be affected. No, dumbass, you gonna be affected. It's gonna affect everybody. If you don't got your shit together, man. That's why, man, at 350K, I'm struggling. Motherfuckers talking about how you struggle, man. I'm struggling. I'm just keeping 100. I gotta pay. I own my own vehicle, my own truck. I gotta pay out the ass for shit. You gotta count the deductions. See, that's what people don't understand. When you make it 300 or 400K or 100K, you gotta count all the deductions. You gotta count out. If you're an owner op, you gotta count for all the maintenance of your truck. You gotta count maintenance of your trailer. You gotta count keeping your truck fuel. You gotta think about, you gotta eat while you're on the road. You gotta eat when you got a home. You gotta eat when you're at home. You gotta have somewhere to live. So you gotta pay rent or mortgage. You gotta pay for the trash, the people to pick up the trash. You gotta pay for plumbing. You gotta pay for utility. You gotta pay for all this shit. That's all deductions from that. Say if you make it 100K, you got deductions. So after you make all those deductions, clothing, food, shelter, utilities, you got internet service, you gotta pay for that. You got children, you gotta pay for that. You got pets, you gotta pay for that. It is constant deductions out your shit. So by the time if you have any little money for yourself, you might be lucky to have at least about $300 or $400 to yourself after all that shit, after doing all that shit, because those deductions are motherfuckers. That's why I tell people, you can talk about, you could be a woman, I got this much money, I got this, that, I'll bring this to that. But when you count those deductions, Cupcake, from all that shit, from your kids, from all the shit that you have, and you up there talking about you coming to the table with shit, you really not. Now, you take a guy that's a single guy. Most guys who single live in a bachelor crib. You might have guys who's bachelors staying in one crib. And they just kicking, they had their girlfriends and shit. Everybody paying it. That's really what it's gonna go to, where motherfuckers gonna be living together. You're going to have people that's going to have to live together to survive. That's what it's going to have to be in order to survive the shit that's coming up. People going to have to live with people. They're going to have to, if you got a house, you may have to take on a roommate. 2 or 3 roommates. People up there talking about, well, I'm making $300K. I said, watch, nigga, you going to have to take up, with inflation, the way inflation going up, the cost of everything going up, ever since Biden got in. And Biden, all that shit was planned for him to be in there. They knew this dude was a senile old fool that they cheated the elections to get in over Donald Trump. Why they painted this picture of Donald Trump being a racist dude, all kind of shit. You ain't never heard Donald Trump say nothing racist in his life. And don't use the doggone, Central Park 5, say, well, he said something about that. He said something about that back then, and then he reneged and on and said, hey, I said some drastic things about him. Hey, I was sorry, I apologize. I hope them guys get what they are owed. And that's what Donald Trump did. Did you hear Donald Trump call these savage niggas and shit like that, rape that white woman? You ain't heard Donald Trump say no shit. You haven't never heard Donald Trump say nothing racist. But yet, everybody, even Jason Black, didn't want to call just on the strength that he a wealthy rich white man, he racist. Like every rich, wealthy white man racist. Most white people that got wealth like that don't give a fuck about that shit. Especially if you're a multimillionaire like Elon Musk and shit like that. Them people don't give a damn about that shit. Most wealthy, elitist white people don't give a damn about their shit. It's only the middle class, poor white folks that they manipulate. They manipulate to say it's because of the black people or these illegal immigrants, you all got problems. When it's actually they ask the elite wealthy white people who they're the problem. But they want to point the finger at you. They want to point the finger at black men getting killed in the street. When you had a group that was of black men called the 300. These brothers were ex-military guys. They were working out of Chicago. They were working in Milwaukee. They were working in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and in Detroit. They were called the 300. These brothers kept the community safe. These brothers were armed guys. You know what they did? Them little ghetto mammoths in the hood called on them, the cops on them, because they was patrolling the neighborhood, and them little thug ass niggas, them little thug poop butt ass niggas couldn't get out there and sell their little crack rocks. So they called the police. They said they had to have license. Same thing with the Nation of Islam and the housing project in Cleveland. They told them they were doing security. Niggas broke in the store. They roughed the brother up. Mama, he beat my son up. Your son breaking in people's shit. You see what I'm saying? Niggas like living in squalor. That's why I said if I'm for gentrification. Because I know gentrification go clean a lot of that shit up. You could call it what it is, white people pushing black people out. If those niggas, like I said, anytime in Chicago, when you could cross over from the Mexican side, damn near like crossing over to another country. The Mexican side is all clean and shit. Soon you cross over to where the black people, you see trash and all that shit. It's fucked up. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing when you driving through the black neighborhoods and it looks shitty like that. It's fucking embarrassing. And then you roll through the Mexican neighborhoods all clean and shit. They stores all, they grass and shit all maintained. No trash everywhere. It's fucking embarrassing. So yeah, I feel like if Negroes ain't gonna, and the only building that look good and shit that's maintained in the black community is the church. The biggest business in the black community, everything else is foreign ran. Like down in St. Louis, you got Asian people cooking black people soul food. That's fucked up. Where the Asian people cooking niggas soul food. And then when I go there, and I look at the shit, then the black, I said to the black, he said, well, ain't nobody else cooking. I like, you know, sometimes we want to knock these niggas upside the head. These niggas was lined up in there buying. I said, how y'all buying the same food y'all can cook at home? And then some chick, another chick, I don't got time to be cooking. I said, but y'all gonna pay these Asians all this money. Asian technician, Arabs got stores, fish selling, fried fish and shit to y'all. Foreigners run the black community. Only entity that making money in the black community is the damn black church, which they got a lot of them. A lot of the black churches. You don't see the black churches up there talking about group economics and shit like that. So when Umar Johnson sitting up here telling black people, black men, not to get other groups of women and go apart, but take your resources to other communities, and then that same community shun you because you're an educated black man, that brother has the right to throw up the middle finger to y'all. That brother who's y'all consider lame, that the women consider lame, he have the right now to throw the finger up to y'all, say fuck y'all and fuck the community. What had the community done for me? The community don't value me. You would think that they would value their intellectual people, that the black community, they should put them at the top. But they don't. They put the thugs and bum ass niggas and hood rat ass chicks twerking their ass on social media. At them are the people that run the black community. The thug niggas, the hood rat thug niggas with their hood rat baby mamas twerking with the long ass ghetto ass nails with that country ass baby hair shit they be doing with their hair, that old country ass shit. Them motherfucking niggas that run the community. Them the niggas that well-to-do black people need to run from and block close the door, block their ass, keep them from, barricade their ass out the community. And motherfuckers getting mad at me for saying that, that's what you gonna have to do if you wanna have an intact black community. You're gonna have to block them niggas out. You're gonna have to leave them niggas out. You're gonna have to leave the coon and buck dance and sell out niggas out. Keep them niggas over there. Cause they ain't gonna be no ride or die. A lot of them niggas ops. They ops for white supremacy. Like fucking Jesse Jackson and motherfucking what's his name? Reverend Al Sharpton. Them niggas are ops. They the reason why Jesse Jackson's the reason why Malcolm X killed, cause that nigga sold Malcolm X out. Then you had this little hot yellow lady up there ratting him out, talking about cause he was against America. I was like, bitch, I'll kick your ass in your head and tuck the flag you say you worship, wipe my ass with it, and put it, tie it around your neck. Shut up. Real shit, man. Let me stop, cause I don't want YouTube to flag my video saying I'm inciting violence. When I'm not. I'm just saying some shit that's some real shit. But this country going to shit, and I'm telling you like this, in order for people to survive, you actually gonna have to be living with other people, other families. Damn near like in the like during the Great Depression. So when Kevin Samuels was talking about it's gonna be a cold winter, he didn't mean just talk about women. He was talking about men too. It's gonna be a cold winter. And like I said, I make $350K a year, and I'm struggling. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm struggling. That's all I gotta say. Over and out.